Come on. Do I sound like I'm joking? Do I sound like I'm playing? When you look into my eyes, you understand what I'm saying? Let me say it to you slowly, and it may sound scandalous. I don't think that you can handle this.
All right, we're going to move on to Survivor. Last week was an interesting week in that basically all the favorites won. The two biggest upsets as far as people had picked the team was Buffalo and Tennessee. Tennessee was a team that I mentioned on this show last week, and it did take one of my teams out. Didn't feel too good about that. Overall, about 4%, just 4% of entries were eliminated last week. So the last few weeks has been a lot of favorites. We'll see if it keeps going. Before I break into the games, I want to talk about just a couple of the things that are key points as far as strategy. With this week being 15, 16, 17, I think you have to plan for the next 3 weeks in advance. Don't just pick a team this week and see what's happening next week or week 17. Really look it out. Try to strategize where you can go on each week. Week 18, to me, is a bit of a wild card. You can look there, but I'd rather just look at 18 when it's there, because you never know who's going to be playing, who's not going to be playing, who's going to care, who's not going to care. From now on, expect shutdowns. Specifically, players, when they get hurt, they may be done for the year. And also look for teams that are completely giving up. But on the flip side, be wary of teams who still want to win now, even if they're eliminated. For some of these teams, this is their playoff. All they want to do is bounce out another team, force them out the playoffs too. All right, so let's talk about week 15. Mike Steph, I'm going to hit you with the 4 biggest spreads of the week. But as always, you could go there, you could go off the board. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Baltimore is a 14.5-point favorite going to face the Giants. Washington is a 7.5-point favorite going to New Orleans to face the Saints without Derek Carr, most likely. The Chicago, really, he broke his hand. The Minnesota, in a win, by the way. All right. The Minnesota, a win is a win. Ask Kansas City. All right. The Vikings are at home against Chicago. The Vikings are 7-point favorites. We're going to talk about that game a little bit later. And the Patriots, they're heading to Arizona to face the Cardinals. The Cardinals are 6-point favorites. Mike Steph, would you take one of these games, or do you have something off the board?
Tell you the truth, I really don't have anything off the board per se, because the other games are so minute with the point spreads and the evenly matched teams, and they're probably teams that people have probably already picked already, such as Bills, Lions, Steelers, Eagles, or whatever. I guess if I really had to look at one of these games that you brought out, what was the last one again? You said
the last one was New England going to Arizona. Arizona.
Yes. This is where my petty is coming out. New England, they really have nothing to play for, but at the same time, Arizona has everything to play for, and yet they're on a 3-game losing streak. For some reason, my gut is telling me to take the New England Patriots for the upset in the land of the desert over the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know. For some reason, it's just telling me that New England is due for a win and Arizona just on a slide. And I did not like the body language by Kyler Murray this past week. Even when he was successful, he always had that sour push look on his face. And I just think they just need to be taking out their misery. So, being the fact that I was so wrong last week, I have no place to go but up. So I'm taking New England over the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know. I just had this gut feeling that it's a possible upset.
All right. Well, unlike last week, I'm not going to ride with you. So maybe your luck changes that we're not on the same side. But for me, I mean, the obvious choice is Baltimore, 12-point favorites, even on the road. 14.5-point favorites. Anytime somebody's 2 touchdown favorites, I think I like them. We're going to talk about the Monday night game. I guess that would be my second option to look at, Chicago at Minnesota. I'm a little bit worried about, Darnold being Darnold, and Chicago can't possibly be as bad as they looked last week. But those would be my two main options. But like I said, strategize. Look at the next couple of weeks. Try to figure out where you could go.
Now, if we're going on spreads, there's a lot of games that I'm looking at the spreads, and I'm like, I might lean underdog. But once again, Survivor, win or go home, has nothing to do. If you win by one, doesn't matter. You go on. So I remain short-winded on that. One last thing, and like I said, even though it's becoming a weekly occurrence, I don't like plugging myself. Please check out my newest musical release called Mike Steph Year 2, The Understanding. Part 1, 2, and 3 are out right now. They're not out for sale because it's more like a mixtape form. Right now, they're available on SoundCloud. Hopefully, it could be in a link in the description, and please check it out because December 10th actually makes 2 years from the day that I decided to change my life.
One more thing. Congratulations to Hip to the Games, to Gimmick Infringement, and to the NBA Baseline, all finalists in the Sports Podcast Awards.
I'm Desmond Powell, host and creator of Hip to the Games, and I am incredibly grateful to announce that the show has been nominated by podcast professionals from some of the biggest networks in the industry for the chance to be named Sports Podcast Group's Best Basketball Podcast. While Hip to the Games merges the love of basketball and hip-hop, it's an honor to know that one side of the spectrum has received this kind of love. And as a fan of the show, this is a very easy way for you to show your support for Hip to the Games. You can cast your vote by visiting sportspodcastgroup.com, navigating to their drop-down menu, and clicking the awards tab to view the 2025 shortlist. There, you'll see the Best Basketball Podcast icon, where you'll scroll down and find Hip to the Games, where you can hit the like button to officially lock in your vote. Regardless of the outcome, Hip to the Games will always be about celebrating the brilliance of basketball and hip-hop's past and present. So make sure to get your votes in before January 13th, as you remain such an important part of this podcast growth. I sincerely thank you for all your support.
This is a 19 Media Group presentation.
Got to turn page here.
Hey, my leg. Ow. Ow. Ooh. Freaking bed. Oh my God. I was going to say something, but I'm not. I'm going to keep that to myself.
Well, it might be good that you did, because this will be making hidden gems.